All right. Right now we're going to take McKinley Freeman from VH1's Hit the Floor on the Midnight Hour radio show. What's happening, McKinley?
What's going on, y'all? What's happening?
Hey, how you doing?
We chilling, man. You hip to that new album by Michael Jackson, Escape?
Man, you know what? I got Spotify, so sometimes it pops on there. It seems all right, man. But you can't go wrong with old Mike. I'm gonna have to check it out in a little bit more detail, though.
Yeah, you know, it's a couple of songs on there. That song he did with Justin Timberlake and this new song, Slave to the Rhythm, it's hot, man. It's hot.
No, that's what's up. But that's the thing, though. It's like, we say there's a couple of songs on there, but the vintage Mike, man, it's the whole album. You could put that mug on and mind your business for a good hour and a half.
Yeah, you right about that. I remember doing that back in the day, McKinley. You right about that, man. So tell us about your acting career, McKinley Freeman. They listening to you in 35 countries all over the world, McKinley Freeman from VH1's Hit the Floor. Tell us about how did you get started in acting?
Man, you know what, bro? It happened. It happened kind of just by pure chance, man. I was working for IBM. I have an MBA in marketing, so I was just kind of minding my own business in corporate America, and I got a little bored, man. So I started doing some modeling and stuff on the side. And my agent at the time was like, "Yo, there's some people in town looking for a guy to put on All My Children. You should go check it out." So I was like, "Man, I don't want to be no actor, man." You know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to do that. But I just got out of business school. I got owe all this money. You know what I mean? But I went anyway, man. It was a cool experience. I just went in there and ran my mouth for a couple of minutes, and they ended up, deciding that they wanted me to be a part of this thing that we're doing, and I was flying back and forth from Atlanta to New York at the time, and it opened up some other doors. And in the end, man, it was just one of those things where I was like, yo, me, with no acting classes or agent or no clue of what I'm doing, like if I actually, educated myself and committed myself to being a professional at it, just who knows where it could take me. So I just went about, the process of trying to hone my skills and educate myself on the whole thing, man. So it's like anything else. There is no you have arrived moment. You know what I mean? It's a constant kind of re-education, if you will. So
Right. You constantly evolving as an actor, no doubt. So I heard that you had quite a few. You were an educated man who worked in corporate America before.
Yeah, man. Before I moved to LA, I was, like I said, I was working full time for IBM and everything. But even when I moved to Los Angeles, I was still, working 60, 70 hours a week, making sure that I took care of my responsibilities on that side. Because at the time they were facilitating my, my acting classes and everything else when I wasn't booking or when I wasn't making enough money as an actor to be able to afford those things. So I was very fortunate. It was a great job. I mean, worked with really great people in IBM and at these other software companies around the world. But yeah, man, it's definitely one of those things. I think that one of the greatest things in life is when you start to realize, you take inventory of the skills that you have that transfer. So it's like, whether you're on radio or you're a golfer or a basketball player or a journalist, like there's a set of skills and a mindset that you can create that you can take with you anywhere that will allow you to, make progress and move towards goals, no matter what, no matter what the obstacles of the journey might be. And I think that's the part as people, I think sometimes we underestimate the value of the assets that we have. So I think it's important that, you be mindful of those things because somebody's waiting for your skill, that you may not think you have,
Right, definitely, man. And so, I mean, I'm glad that you said that because that's letting a lot of people know that you may go and attempt to do something, but the one thing you thought you was going to do, you ended up doing something completely different.
Man, let me tell you, all them years I spent doing all them drills in 100-degree heat in Illinois thinking I was about to go to the league. And when David Stern didn't call me or nobody else, not even my grandma called me on draft night, I was like, well, guess we're going to have to do something different. But, here it is, those skills and growing up playing basketball my entire life definitely, prepared me for the world of the TV show. And, when you shoot the action sequences and we're actually playing games and stuff, it's like, it's like riding a bike. It's like second nature. So.
Right. So how did you get hooked up? I want to give a shout out to Anderson Group Public Relations. How did you get hooked up with VH1 and Hit the Floor? And tell us about that show.
You know what? Basically, the show itself it follows a fictional professional basketball team in Los Angeles, and it kind of follows the players, the dancers, the ownership, and all the ins and outs of it. And as you can imagine, if you look at the headlines these days, you can see that there's all kinds of things that happen in professional sports organizations that people may or may not believe or may not be aware of. And I think it's interesting that, James LaRosa and the executive producers of the show did a really cool job of providing a very fresh look at a world that some people are somewhat familiar with. But for me, being involved with getting tied in with the show was just an audition, man. I went in for this show in like a January and forgot all about it. At the time it was pilot season, and pilot season is basically where you're going out and all the new TV shows that they might turn into series, you're casting, and you basically try to book a job. So I ended up booking a role on Devious Maids and shot that already. And I went in for this thing in January. I booked Devious Maids in like February, worked in March, and then at the end of March I got this call saying, "Oh, hey, there's a callback for this Hit the Floor show." I was like, man, I got to remember what that was. So anyway, I went in for the audition, and I actually went in for the role of Terrence, which is another one of the basketball players. And I went in and did my thing and everything, but I was headed to the car, and one of the producers came running out like, "Yo, can you come back and read for this other role? We think you might be good for this one." And then fast forward, I ended up booking it, and then here we are. But the show is great. I think the show premiered last Monday. I think we had over 3.5 million viewers on a Memorial Day, which is amazing, on a Monday night. And I'm just really excited about the direction that the story's going. I think people are going to be really, really excited about what happens, and there are going to be plenty of surprises to keep people on their toes. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Man.
It's going to be a fun summer.
3.5 million people.
Y'all need to hop in and tell me to stop talking because I just start running my mouth. Y'all be like,
no, that's cool, man. I mean, 3.5 million people on one show on a Monday night. That's definitely hot right there. Now, let me ask you a question. Tell me about the characters in the show. Now, I know about your character, but who was your love interest on VH1's Hit the Floor?
My love interest is Ahsha Hayes. She's played by Taylor Page, and basically she's like one of the dancers that are still relatively. In season 1, she was new to the world. She was new to professional basketball and the team and all these other things. So she was kind of like a deer in headlights trying to find her way, but immensely talented, and so she represents the idea to Derek, I think, of somebody that is the exact opposite of everything he's ever had. You know what I mean? She's honest, she's genuine, she appreciates him for who he is, not what he does or what he has. And I think that, along with just the innate connection, lends itself to kind of seeing where it could go. But of course, when you start talking about complexity, she's got a boyfriend, her dad's the coach. It starts to get a little bit more complicated.
Right. So on the show, do you get along with her mother?
Man, you know what?
Sloan, right? That's her name,
yeah,
Sloan.
Yeah, Sloan. Yeah, check you out with the character names. It's interesting. I think there's so much stuff going on. I'm not really even sure that I know she's aware of who I am, and